Excellence is not an act, but an habit. A great man gave us these words. Sow a seed, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. And sow a character, reap a destiny. This great man was Dr. Stephen Covey, famous for his book, 7 Habits of Effective People. And these habits the habits that he refers to are not something unique that he discovered. These are habits that are existent right down the millennia. He just distilled them into a succinct book, a teaching. Ralph Waldo Emerson, who happens to be a famous American philosopher, says, "We are what we think about all day long." Thoughts lead to habits. Let me share with you an interesting story. There was this guy in the US who, at 32 years of age, had spent 6 years in prison. He was a convicted felon. His marriage was, of course, off. He had a 3-year-old son whom he had never seen. When he was 32, he found Stephen Covey and a few others, like Tony Robbins, Tom Peters, and a few others, including Ralph Waldo Emerson, in the prison. He was in the prison, and he had another 7 more years to spend in prison. This quote of Ralph Waldo Emerson kind of got into his head. You are what you think about all day long. And he thought, if this is where I have got by thinking certain things, where can I be if I change those thoughts? And he decided to change those thoughts. And to change those thoughts, he developed a routine, a habit. Every morning, in his prison cell, in his 6 feet by 6 feet prison cell, cold, with a cold bed, he used to, when he got up in the morning, for the first 15-20 minutes, he just used to dream about what he wanted to be. And his dreams were not very big. He dreamt about being a good father to his son. He dreamt about holding an average job. For 7 years, his only routine in the morning was to visualize a life with his son and living a decent paying job. By the time he came out after 7 years, he had finished his MBA, and he had some savings left with him. And he started looking for a job. For the first 8 months, he just went into each and every office he could think of, and he was given a no. Finally, he managed a yes. He took up the job, became the best salesman in that company, set up a company after that within 1 year. In 5 years' time, he grew the company to one of the top 5 fastest growing companies in the US. And he was able to live a life as a father to his son. And he didn't just hold on a job, he made much more than that. He went on to write books, some bestsellers. And his forwards, the forwards of his book, were written by, guess, Stephen R. Covey. Tony Robbins, Tom Peters. They wrote the forewords for his book. This man happens to be known as Belden Long, and now he is pretty famous in the speaking circuit in the US. Habits can lead to excellence. He just introduced one habit in his life, and that brought an entire change to his destiny. Well, I have tried changing a few habits, and one of which in which I feel I have been relatively successful was back 12 years ago when in an attempt to give up smoking, I took up running. From being 95 or 100 kgs, now I don't cross 75, even if I want to. So that was just one change in that new habit which I introduced, and it has had an immense impact in all my other aspects of life. So let's move on. And as Toastmasters, we all aspire to excel in speaking. And one such Toastmaster who excels in this habit, and not just excels, she also combines an immense amount of enthusiasm to whatever she does. He is going to be our Toastmaster for the day. Polite, persevering, and always eager to help. Let us put our hands together to the MC for today, Payal Gulani.